What's going on, everybody? This is Corey Nelson, another episode of the AllBall podcast, and today we're going to be talking about two topics. We got two topics today. The first topic, we're going to be talking about which version of LeBron James is his best throughout his entire career. This has been a topic that a lot of people have been discussing for forever, but just recently came up all of a sudden. But my personal opinion about which LeBron James version is the best is the Miami Heat LeBron James. Now, I know a lot of people are going to probably disagree, say, oh, the 2028 LeBron James was the best. And yes, I will give you that. That was his best career stat-wise. You know, he played 82 games, the full season, averaged 27 points a game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. That is just amazing, especially at the age he was doing that at. That's crazy. But the reason I go with the LeBron James in Miami, I got so many reasons, but I'm just going to give you a few. He teamed up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and structured an elite big three. And people even went as far as to say he inaugurated the term super team, which isn't true, you know, because you had the Celtics. I mean, come on. You had teams beforehand that were quote unquote super teams, you know. Now everybody has their own opinion, their different opinion of what a super team is. But that is a topic for another day. Today we're going to be sticking on the topic of LeBron James and the version that I picked. This is the best one in his career. He helped the Miami Heat make the finals every year there. And they even won two back-to-back championships. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. They had a great run, a 27-game winning streak. I mean, come on. I mean, this was just... It took over... They took over the league, basically. They took over the league, and, basically, no one was stopping them, you know? Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks. That, in my opinion, is the best championship run possibly of all time. Just because of that one team that nobody thought would overcome adversity. And they did it against the best team in the league. And of course, you had the Spurs, who beat them before LeBron went back to back to Cleveland. But you can make a case that, they beat them, but look at everything. I mean, they were tired, you know. I mean, going on that many playoff runs, you got to be tired. Dwayne Wade dealing with injuries. I mean, the team was tired. It was fatigued. Like, you could look at how they were playing, and they were like, wow, they can't go back and forth on that court the whole 48 minutes. That's crazy. Now, let's look at LeBron James and the awards he won while playing in the Heat uniform. He was a two-time MVP. Two-time league MVP, 2012, 2013. He was a four-time All-Star, making the All-Star team every year he was there. And he also made the All-NBA first team and the NBA All-Defensive team 4 times. Every year he was there, he made those teams. That just goes to show how great of a player he was, you know? I mean, the awards speak for themselves and the stats speak for themselves. And those stats are what I'm going to bring up next. While playing for the Heat, he averaged 26 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 0.7 blocks. He shot 54% from the field and 36% from beyond the arc. But believe it or not, those stats and the awards are not why I picked the Miami Heat LeBron. It's what happened off the court. I'm going to tell you what happened off the court that a whole lot of people don't even know happened. Now, there's a good amount of people who know that he embraced the villain role, and he definitely learned how to win from Dwayne Wade. The first year he was there, Dwayne Wade was basically orchestrating that team. But once they lost to the Mavericks during the offseason, he was like, LeBron, I'm going to give you the torch. You got to learn how to win and take us to the promised land. And you know, the rest is history after that. But what a lot of people don't know is how dedicated he was to changing his game and how he played. during the 2011 NBA lockout, he worked with Hakeem Olajuwon to revamp his post-up game, which is almost perfect now. So that's why I say the Miami Heat LeBron was special and the best version of his career. Because after that, of course he won the ring in Cleveland and he won with the Lakers. So when you really think about it, stat-wise, yes, the 2018 LeBron was the best. But if it wasn't for the Miami Heat LeBron, we may not have gotten that. Now, the next topic I want to bring up is the video that went viral of his former teammate Ray Allen saying that LeBron James isn't the GOAT, basically. Now, I got a whole lot of respect for Ray Allen, one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. But man, you are wrong on this one. In the conversation Ray Allen had with one of the kids, he asked the kid, because the kid was basically saying LeBron James is the GOAT. Ray Allen responded with, is he a great free throw shooter? Is he a great three-point shooter? Is he a great dribbler? He's not great in all those categories. Listen, if we're going with that criteria, then Jordan ain't the GOAT either. So if I was a kid, I would ask him, okay, so who is your GOAT? Because Jordan doesn't really, that criteria doesn't really apply to Jordan. Yes, Jordan is a better free throw shooter. We all know how bad LeBron is at the free throw line. I mean, he's not horrible, but we all know that if we need to win the game with free throws, we may not go to LeBron. But Jordan is not a great three-point shooter. And there's an argument that can be made if you watch a lot of highlights that LeBron is a better dribbler. LeBron shoots 34% from the three-point, and Jordan shot 32% in his career. Granted, if Jordan played in today's era, he might accommodate to the three-point shooting. But we'll never know. All we have is the stats that he finished his career with and the stats that LeBron James is continuing to improve. Those are the facts. Those are real. We can't sit here. A lot of people just, when it comes to the GOAT debate, a lot of people just sit there and make up a lot of things in their head and think that's going to, validate the argument. It doesn't. Because that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the stats on paper. We're looking at the videos, the highlights. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're studying. A lot of people who are watching the basketball today, they haven't watched Jordan. They haven't. Now, my personal opinion, Jordan is the GOAT, but he's the GOAT because of what he did off the court as well. If you watch The Last Dance, the way he went out looking for Dennis Rodman when he was, I think, in Las Vegas partying because he needed him to win. And then when the Pistons were beating him up on the court off the season, he hit the weight room, he buffed up. And then he came back and he beat the Pistons. That's what makes him the GOAT in my opinion, is of what he did off the court. And LeBron does it too. LeBron's dedicated off the court as well. We all know how special his workout resume is. We all know that. But with Jordan, what he did off the court, and then again those 10 scoring titles, winning Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, it's hard to. I hate the GOAT debate because I feel like I gotta go against another teammate, another player. I mean, but if I could, I would say Jordan is 1A, LeBron is 1B, because honestly, I think they're both sharing the number one spot. Because when you say number two, it's like all that matters is number one. That's all that matters to a lot of people, which isn't true. It's not true at all. So, with that being said, about wraps it up for today. If you haven't done it yet, check out the links in my description below. I gotta follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'll put the links up all the time. But until then, stay tuned. We're gonna be having more podcasts coming out. I appreciate it.